Last year, we cut down over 100 trees along the driveway. And it was a very sad day. It was almost a year ago to the date that all of the trees came down. Today, every single one of these trees starts getting cut down. What happened was we had these beautiful pine trees on either side of the driveway that lined our driveway, and unfortunately they got a pine beetle that started to kill them all slowly one by one. These trees had probably been planted by the previous owner, maybe in the 1970s. So we're talking like 50-year-old trees that had been trimmed and manicured and slowly started dying over the past 10 years or so. After Mike and I moved in, every year we kept cutting down 5 of them, and then 10 of them, and then 15 of them. And we realized really quickly that the trees were not gonna make it. So we had 2 choices. We could slowly watch them die, or we could cut them all down and we could start over and we could plant this new legacy with the boys that lived on well beyond us. And so that's what we chose to do. We cut down all of these trees and we didn't have a plan. So as soon as we cut the trees down, we realized that there was this giant row of these beautiful maples behind the trees that we cut down that at some point somebody had planted. And so our initial thought was, we're gonna take these big giant trees and dig them out with a tree spade, and we're gonna move them, or we're gonna line the driveway, and if we didn't have enough, we were gonna fill in between them. The day we cut the trees down, I posted a video about how we had taken all of these trees out. And about halfway through the following day, this gentleman shows up at the farm, randomly. He drove down the driveway, and him and his wife show up, and his name is Larry, and his wife's name is Robin, and they pull up next to the house, and they go, "Hey, we saw your video about taking all your trees out. If you want to plant new ones, let us know. We move trees and we could come and help you plant all the new ones." And so Mike and I kind of looked at each other and we went, this random guy kind of showed up at the farm offering to plant new trees. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, I'm your neighbor. I live like on the other block on the other side of the road." And we're like, this kind of seems weird. So we kind of hemmed and hawed over it, and he gave us his card, and I started to look up all this information about him, and lo and behold, Larry, who lives literally 2 blocks away from us, is like the premier large tree mover in Illinois. He literally moves all of these large trees all over the state and lives 3 minutes from our house. So Mike and I look at each other and we're like, this must be fate that this guy shows up. We post this video. His wife's a big follower of ours, and he is like the guy that moves large trees. And we're like, well, great, this is perfect. So our plan is, we have this line of really large trees that runs along the backside of where we took the trees out. So we go to Larry and we're like, "Hey Larry, can you move these trees that we already have and reline the driveway?" And he goes, "Yeah, we could do that." So we have this plan in place. And if you know anything about moving large trees, you kind of have to do it in the fall or early spring, because moving them in the middle of summer is not really an option. So he said, "Hey, let me get back to you next year. We'll figure out a time. We'll move them in the fall. That's really the best time." And as spring rolls around, Mike and I realize that the driveway is falling apart. Literally there are chunks of driveway coming up. Winter destroyed it. It's like a 25-year-old driveway. And we go, we're gonna have to replace the driveway this spring because the whole thing is falling apart. So we call Larry and he goes, "I don't want to plant the trees though with the new driveway in place." So we're like, okay. So we start replacing the driveway and we have to stop because Larry has to bring the giant tree spade truck down the driveway in order to plant the trees. So now we have multiple projects going on at the same time. We have the driveway being replaced, but we have to wait until fall to finish it because Larry has to plant the trees. So Larry comes back out. We're about to put this plan together. We're moving all these trees. And at the last minute, he goes, I don't think we should move the big trees. And Mike and I both, our hearts are like broken. We're like, why can't we? He goes, here's the deal. He goes, I can move the large trees. He goes, and what's gonna happen is they're gonna get stressed out and they're not gonna grow for 4 or 5 years. Or what we can do is we can plant all newer, smaller trees that will catch up to the size of the big trees in the next 4 or 5 years, and you'll be right back where you were. And so we kind of looked at him and we're like, well, that seems like a much better option. That way all the trees would match. We didn't have enough of the bigger trees to really line the driveway anyway. So we left all of the big trees where they were. And he goes, right down the street, there's a nursery. So like Larry's 3 minutes that way, and the nursery is 5 minutes that way. And they have as many autumn blaze maples as we need. So we go down there, we meet Kurt, who's the guy that owns the nursery, and he says, yeah, we can supply all of these trees for you. So when I said it was fate, it was like, I don't know how everything worked out so well, but like the trees were right close by, the guy that moves the trees was close by, everything worked out perfectly. The driveway guys were able to hold on the driveway. Everything went back in exactly how it was supposed to be. So we planted 56 autumn blaze maples along the driveway. There's 28 on each side. It took Larry 3 weeks to plant all of these trees. As soon as we started moving them, they started changing color. So the whole time they've been planting these trees, they've been red all along the side of the driveway, and it's really magnificent. Like, I'm so happy with the decision to plant the new trees versus trying to move the old ones and stressing them out. And it really was this huge undertaking, but I'm so happy with how everything came together, because the result, I mean, I think you can agree, it's just beautiful. And the driveway is like back to where it was when Mike and I came here to look at this property for the first time. We drove down the driveway the first time we came here. I fell in love with this tree-lined driveway before we even got to the house. So Mike jokes about the fact that like we didn't even have to see the house. Like all we had to do was drive down the driveway and I would have bought the property the second we got here. So now, after removing all of these trees, which was this horrible thing that we had to do, and now a year later, putting them all back, it's like every day when I get home to see these trees lining the driveway, and it kind of sounds like how could trees be so important, you know, when you think about like, how can you get so emotional about trees? It's like, it's this greeting when you drive into the property. It's like you see this beautiful tree-lined driveway, the gates open up, you drive down and you have these beautiful red maples on either side. It kind of takes your breath away a little bit. And I'm so happy with the result of what we put together. And I'm so happy that we were able to plant these trees. And as we live here and as the boys get older and they come back to visit, and as Mike and I are living here, like we will get to enjoy these trees just lining the driveway and growing over the top of it. And it really was fate how all of these pieces fit together, from Robin being a follower to us, to Larry moving all the trees, to Kurt having all the trees available, to the driveway guys like holding off on doing the driveway so that we could get the trees in. Like everything worked out exactly like it was supposed to. And I couldn't be happier with how everything looks. It really is spectacular.